Welcome back, day 2 or part 2 of the police pursuit 2013 Dodge Charger with a 5.7. Obviously, you guys can tell the hood does not work. Oh god, that's how it flew off last time. In the last video, you guys saw this thing is not sitting properly. In the last 3 days, I actually ordered parts. We got the core supports here, the whole shebang. We got the crash bar. What is this little guy doing? We got the bumper side supports that actually click on. We got that upper panel that goes right here, makes it all nice and neat. And then the guy talked me into getting the actual upper fascia support things that actually cover the little piece that goes here as well. If you guys can guess down below how much everything cost, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't cheap. $1,200 for a couple things. I kid you not, this is from the dealer. It's a little ridiculous. But if everything goes to plan, everything should bolt up and we shouldn't have any issues. So let's get the bumper back off. Let's get the hood back off. Start working on this thing and making it look pretty again. Before we do anything, what I want to try to do is bend these. Let's go ahead and get these things back to straight. This is where it should sit, but currently it's sitting over here. So you guys can kind of see the little bit of the mangledness of where it should technically be. So let's go ahead. I got this big old pry bar. Okay, this is not the correct way to do this, but it's the redneck ingenuity.
It's the way we're gonna do it.
It's a redneck ingenuity, okay? Okay, big old thing. This probably weighs
about as much as
Tristan. So let's get the bending. Hopefully this goes well, and if not, well, I want a crash bar for no reason. Take off the crash bar first, kind of make sure that there's no more tension that we're actually pulling on. It's going to be a little bit easier to actually pull out instead of trying to pull basically like a whole frame. When I ordered that new crash bar, I was looking at the angle and I kid you not, this thing was pushed more in than I thought. So I'm glad I went ahead and spent the extra money, did this the right way. Hopefully at the end I'm going to be proud about it. Alright, here's a good side-by-side comparison of what it's not supposed to be. You can tell this one's got more of an arch here, and this one's pushed a lot more straight, which, well, it's not supposed to be like that at all. And then if you look at this compared to this, as you can see, that is not supposed to be like that at all. That is completely pushed in, and this is why we're having a lot of fitment issues. Lane's actually having a little bit of doubts about.
Well, that's what I want to see though. I'd rather see that than see my biggest fear right now.
Yeah, more things that are pushed in, because my biggest thing is the fenders and everything still have a decent gap. That's nothing too structurally, different. The headlights did line up on this side at least, and I know that fender is pushed back maybe 1/8 of an inch. So it should be just fine, especially if once we put the new one in, we can kind of see exactly where it's supposed to sit and how it's supposed to look. So let's go ahead and get this thing mounted back on. It looks kind of cool being open and exposed like this.
I told him it's not my Civic though. We can't
just do it like this.
Like that.
Oh come on, this would be so cool. But let's get the core support on. Can't wait.
You say it's cool until your hood flies open and smashes in your windshield, like.
Oh, note to self. The hood. The fiberglass hood, when I came out this morning, it flew off, okay? I wasn't driving it, it was sitting still, okay? And it flew off. So, note to self, need to get this fixed. After a gruesome hour, hands hurt, I know he's hurt, Zach helped. I had to call him, had to get some more muscle in here. I actually fell and landed way over here. Camera went flying. You guys actually didn't get to see it because it wasn't on. But good news is frame rails are kind of back straight. And then the core support is sitting pretty, and you can tell how much more room we actually have, and everything else should start lining up properly, and then we can actually just start wrapping everything up. And just like that, we do have the core support all mounted in. We got the horns back on, we got the hood latch back in. So everything else should go back in. So let's grab the headlights.
Oh, the headlights are on the driver's side.
Driver's side over. Oh, found them. Let's put these in. Let's see our fitment. Hopefully we are a-okay. This is so exciting to think that we are good. Okay, moment of truth. We'll do one at a time here. Here's the driver's side.
Driver's side?
Driver's side.
This is the passenger side.
Duh, that's what I said. That's what I said.
This is passenger.
I said this.
Right.
If we did this right, we should put all 4 bolts back in for the headlights. How are we looking? Is the fender in the way now?
Yeah, fender's a little bit in the way.
Fender's a little bit in the way.
It's just this corner right here where it's crumpled.
Alright, that's not bad of a gap. Everything else is lined up. Even the bottom is lined up.
Everything's lined up.
Hey, even
Ain't
the
that crazy?
bottom. It's crazy when you put the right parts back on.
Yeah, it's crazy when you do it right.
Okay, I can feel the attacking right now. That looks not too bad. Obviously, we still gotta fix this fender a little bit more, but that'll be on the body side of the videos. But one headlight is perfectly in, and both headlights are bolted back in. Actually looking a lot better. So I'm happy. It's just this part's gone because I broke it on this one. But I'll get another one coming, so I'll just take that out, replace it, and call it a day. Let's go ahead and get this crash bar back on. I think we kind of bend these as straight as we can because these are basically not straight, but we got the spot welds cut off. So now we can just mount this on and then put the bumper on, put this top piece back on, and technically be done with it.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing is the windshield washer.
Yeah, windshield washer.
Who forgot that?
So they never include any nuts or bolts, but this clearly, if I can get it in there correctly, this needs to sit in this hole here, this hole here. There's no hole for this hole, and there's no hole for that hole. So what I'm thinking, put a bolt and a nut through it, just drill a hole, and then this way, this is actually very more secured because I want to say it's all push pins after this point, and then that way the front bumper sits, clicks into place, and then everything else gets covered up with all the beautiful fascia. These cost me 69 cents each for 2 little push pins for this whole top plastic support for the bumper. So now we can actually finally mount this thing on top. That's not how it's supposed to go, but we can mount it on top, and now we can put the old bumper back on it and make this whole thing look pretty. As you guys see, crash bar is on, ready to rock and roll. The electric power steering may be bad. I wonder if it just kind of started itself when it was in the accident and everybody just kept starting it, driving it. You know, me, I drove it home, so I know for a fact we drove it and it got dry. and electric motors do not like being ran dry. So I wonder if I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and spend that $1,000 on a brand new one, which kind of sucks. It eats into the profits, but hey, do it right. I'm still waiting on a washer tank, but that's not gonna stop us from taking this thing and getting it inspected. So let's get this little support bracket on, let's get the bumper on, let's get the little fascia things up top on. This thing's gonna look really, really nice. I need just to put the 2 screws on the side, but for right now, she's looking a lot better with an actual face on her. Very happy with that, very happy. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, just need to figure out the hood, make sure everything else is tight on the bumper side, put that little plastic piece on, should be ready to rock and roll. All right, now we got the JB old drying. I'll come back in the morning, hopefully it's ready to go. If not, I guess I'm just gonna have to drive this thing without a hood, which is gonna be baller. Or all it's gotta do is latch on the front, and the back doesn't really have to do much. Just kind of stay there, okay? But let's get these on, just like that. It's gonna sit and make everything else look nice and pretty. And just like that, this whole front end is back together. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I'm not a Chrysler guy, but man, it's something about the old, what is it, the Fast 5 era that this Charger kind of came alive, how they promoted it and whatnot through all the scenes. But for a base model front end, that's not bad. As you guys can see down here, this guy does not want to stick into place at all. I even replaced it with a new one, and it's still not fitting correctly. I want to think it's the bumper because the bumper is not morphed properly. You can see the little dents here, but no matter what I do here, it still just doesn't want to sit into place like it's supposed to. The whole front end's back together. It looks good, honestly. It looks really good. Now all we gotta do, take it up, get the inspection, washer tank, electric power steering pump, hopefully not. And then obviously put that hood on it and then get this thing over to paint. Basically that'll wrap up the old Dodge Charger. We do kind of have a couple things planned for it. Just stay tuned. Everything is in the making. Well, part 2 is over. We'll see you in part 3.